right, so next part of our shelf right here we're going to be working on. Say the shelf part of the mirror is going to be putting this piece that we previously tooled down with that Roman Ogie bit. We're going to mount this on the bottom of our project. Like so. And to put this piece on, I'm going to see if I have this in view actually. I do. So to go ahead and mount this piece here up, we're going to use two small nails in the back here, and those are just going to keep it from sliding around. What we're really going to use to hold this on is going to be our glue and then some clamp pressure. The real reason we don't want to really put any nails in this is because it's not structural, all right, and the glue is stronger than the nails as it is. And then on top of it, why really put a lot of holes in here if we don't have to? If I was doing this myself, I would not be putting any nails in it, all right? But I have a little bit more experience than you guys do, and it's going to slide around a little bit on you, so we're going to put two nails in it just to keep it from sliding and help keep it flush, and we'll be in great shape. Let's take a look what it actually looks like when we put it on our project, though. So just flush at the back and centered. And boy, that adds a really nice detail to the bottom of our shelf. It really completes the project down there. It looks really sharp. I like it. So let's go over how to mount this particular piece up. Remember that symmetry, keeping things nice and symmetrical, are the basis off of this project right here. So we're going to have to find a center line. I do have it here already, so it worked out fantastic. Now I'm going to find the center line of this piece for right here. And I'll put it in my vise. I have an extra set of hands. There's 23. Half of 23 is 11 and a half. We're going to double check that just to make sure. Yep, sure is. I'll grab my square. Draw that square line. It's obviously very important that we have the route detail the right way. We want the tallest part, the biggest part of the route to face down. If we wanted to, we could have wrote on here, bottom with an arrow, or we could just double check it before we put it on. It's lined up nice right there, so that'll be in great shape. If we wanted to, we could also confirm that it's hanging over the same amount on both sides. I can see that it is. I have a lot of faith in my measurements. I tell you guys all the time that math doesn't lie as long as we do the math correct. It does not. So now we need to figure out where we're going to put the nails. And we're going to happen to be using some 4D nails. And what I like about the 4D nails is that they're just strong enough for you guys that you don't bend them as easy as if we went down to a 3D nail. And they're 1.5 inches long. Now, 1.5 inches is a good bite, but the problem with this is if we don't put these nails in the right spot, like if we put them just over the shelf on the outside right here, it's going to blow through when we set it. It's going to blow through the top side and it's going to look really unprofessional. So we're going to aim to have these two 4D nails to go through this and into a section that's going to coincide with this right here. Now I happen to know that it's a 1/4 inch overlap, and I know that this piece right here is 3/4 inch thick. And if I want to go into the center of the 3/4, the center of 3/4 would be 3/8. So it's 3/8 to get to the center plus 1/4. So 3/8 plus 1/4, which would be 2/8, is 5/8 of an inch in. So what we'll do is, we're going to make sure we don't have any nails around this area. We're going to measure in 5/8 of an inch, and we'll measure in, say, 5 inches in. See how I did that? Now the 5 inches, it doesn't matter. It could have been 4 inches, 3 inches. That might be off by a 16th. That's fine. It's just so that it's in the same area roughly. You can see I just held this here, put it like so. We're really close to 5 inches is what I'll say. And that's 5/8 right there. Now when we go ahead and want to drill this here, what I'm going to do is I am not going to drill it over top of this piece right now, and I'm going to show you why. I set the nail that I put in this drill right here, I set this for a little bit over an inch. So that means it will go through this piece right here and eventually into this over here. And I want to make sure that when I do drill through this and into this, that I'm 100% right on the money, because the nail's going to follow the hole. So we're going to start by pre-drilling this out here. And watch, I'm going to start it right over the table. I'm just not going to drill it all the way while it's over the table. I'm going to let that drill do the work, nice and slow. Now, some things we want to think about when we're drilling with a nail. Since the nail is soft, a softer metal, the nail is not brittle where you'll drop it and it will break, but it will bend. And the other problem with a soft metal is as it heats up, you can wind up twisting the nail completely off right at the chuck right here. So we want to make sure that we're not using this thing over and over and over. For me, 2 nails, no big deal, but if we had 20 kids in here, the possibility of it getting hot and breaking goes up dramatically. If we were doing this at home and we wanted to use a drill bit, that would be great. But remember, the reason why we do not use drill bits in here is because you guys break them. Not that I have a problem with you guys breaking drill bits. It's that I have a problem with them costing, let's say, 50 cents. And we break one this period, and we break one next period, and then tomorrow this period, next period. It starts to add up. The nails are just a couple cents a piece, so if we break those, it's not the end of the world. So what I did right here, where the nail came through on the bottom, I just sanded this a little bit so it's nice and smooth. That way nothing gives us any issues. And I can mount this here back up. Notice how I'm not working in a vise, I'm working over the corner of the table, because this is good and solid. If I'm in the vise, it's going to twist around on me, and I don't have a good spot to hold it in the vise. It's going to be the bad news bears if we put it in there. I'm going to line up these centers, like so. And we're going to come down here, and we're just going to lightly snug that there up. Drawing a blank here, can't find my other one, here we go. And we'll come down here and do the same thing. Make sure it's good and flush. So I'm going to check it in a few areas. I'm flush here, and I'm flush here, and I'm flush here. I'm flush everywhere. I'm feeling really nice. I'm just going to snug these up a smidge. Double check, triple check. I'm now ready to go ahead and take my nail that's in my drill and drill down through. Same thing over here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and clean up these marks. like I said, this is something that if I was doing this myself, I would not use. It's just going to add another couple steps between filling it in, sanding it, nailing it, possibly bending a nail. But this is going to help you guys out because these nail holes will now follow their spots, their guides. Right, so I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm giving it a once over. It looks good. Squeeze it by hand. Everything tightened up really good for me. Gonna double check, make sure everything's below the surface. It's nice and clean. Do not put the glue on this. Do put the glue on this side. And I'm gonna stay in a healthy half of an inch, maybe even more. I might stay in 3/4 of an inch. Reason being, I really don't want that glue to squirt out if I can help it. Now the back side, I'm not too concerned about if it squirts out on the back side. That's a non-seeable side. We can wipe that off. It's not the end of the world. But the front side is a seeable side that we're going to see. And definitely going to have to make sure that we sand that really well if we have any glue. I'm going to follow that arch right there. And then we'll just, if we wanted to, kind of throw this in. Right, plenty of glue there. Hot dog. All right. Take this here. Flip it around. Flush on my back. You'll see how this thing that's kind of wiggling all around on me. I want to make sure I don't go all over town. That way I get glue all over the place. I'd be kind of upset if that happened. Here, I'm going to put my nail in now. Here's the nice part. If you notice, I was able to push these nails in. That one over there, at least, all the way by hand. And I'm going to find my center. Bring this one over. Push this nail out a little bit. I believe that nail is already fit. It's nice and easy. This one over. Right, so you can hear that they got into a spot where they're good and tight. I'm good and flush right here. I'm going to move this in as tight as I can. I'm going to hold the bottom down here with my foot. I'm just going to lightly hit these really close. Same thing over here. And we'll grab our nail set. And those are below the surface. We're now going to go ahead and grab our clamps. And this clamp here we're going to put right on the edge and tighten that bad boy up. And then we're going to bring this one out here. Whoops. Tighten this one up. And I don't have any glue that came out on the back side here. Bring this up here. And I got a few more clamps over here. And since I want to clamp this part here to this part up here, I'm going to put my screw section over here. I'm going to clamp it pretty close to our edge. Snugged up. I got a nice tight joint right here. Another one over here. another one down here. Then I'm going to inspect for any glue that may have made its way out. I'm also going to double check and make sure that my seam right here, my jointed area where they're joined together, make sure that's good and tight. And it is. I mean, this is a really great example. We got the glue perfect where it's going to hold it. You know, we're going to let this dry overnight. We don't have any glue that came out on the front side. Even if some came out on the back side here, at this point here, it's no big deal because it's on the back. Real quick scrape, real quick go over to some 120 or some 150, and it'll be in great shape. But this up here, since this is stained, you know, and we see this since it's right in our view, this would be a section that if we had glue on it, we'd really have to wipe it multiple times. I would tell you to probably wipe it for 2 minutes, keep folding that paper towel, maybe grabbing a new one. That way you don't have to do a lot of sanding later. I'm still going to sand it up pretty good later. It is all the way sanded to 150 right now. However, at the end, I'm going to go over the whole thing with some 150, and we're going to be in great shape. So listen, this is the bottom part of the mirror shelf that's on. The only other thing I need to do to this project here, and your guys on the next steps, is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start putting this inside trim on, and the inside trim holds the mirror from falling out. And on the back side, there's going to be a piece of 1/4-inch plywood or some Luan, and we're going to use that to hold the back of the mirror in. So we're moving and grooving on this. It looks pretty fantastic. I'm liking the way it's shaping up. Catch you guys pretty soon.